Hi, my name is Karina Akidal. I'm the managing editor of Canadian Auto Dealer, and I'm here with Monte Weiss, former president of Weis Group, and Farid Ahmad, president and CEO of DSMA, Dealer Solutions, Mergers and Acquisitions. First of all, Monte Weiss is taking over Farid Ahmad's role as new president of Canadian operations. So, Monte, what made you decide to take on this new role?
Thanks for having us. It's just really exciting. It's really exciting. I've known Farid for quite a bit. And actually, the story begun not quite a year ago, where I had a real estate company which I sold to Dealer Solutions Mergers Acquisitions, and actually joined the advisory board. And real estate plays a large part in the whole mergers and acquisition space. So I got to learn a little bit, and it was fun. There's a lot going on before COVID and even during COVID, just to see all of the activity and excitement in the buy sell space was really intriguing. The other thing, just coming back from where I was originally with the Weis Group for the last 25 years, we had such a great team there who really were running the company more or less. And without having such a great team and a succession plan with Sylvia Carfora taking over as CEO, this wouldn't have been possible. What's interesting about the Weis Group, we focused on design and automotive retail experiences when it comes to dealerships and processes. And our goal over the last 10, 15 years was how can we help guide and be a part of the transformation of automotive retail? Well, it's ironic that the mergers and acquisitions, in my opinion, are really at the forefront of the transformations we'll see in automotive retail. Just when you look, whether it's consolidation or dealers who have really figured out the digitization and how to provide customer experience on different platforms, we really see them growing a lot, and that having a big impact on a lot of the buy sell that we're going to be seeing in the future. So it was almost a natural segue, but the energy, the integrity of Farid and his team, they're the leader in this country. The growth in the US is really exciting. I think it's a very high ceiling business. It was just really exciting. So it kind of made it an easy decision, although a little bit bittersweet to say bye to some of my old team and staff and clients. But it's exciting industry. So really that in a nutshell is what made it so compelling for me.
Well, congratulations on your new role. Maybe you can give us a little bit of some details, actually provide us some details on what that new role entails.
It's to be the new Farid. Well, no, that'll never happen. Farid has brought a vigor and an energy and a humor that I don't know if the automotive industry has really seen. But he's taught me a lot already, and really the excitement of keeping the momentum going. I've been fortunate for the last 25 years to make a lot of great relationships, both with dealers and manufacturers across the country. So it's really to keep that dialogue open. Already this week, I've been called by so many people, dealers, because everybody wants to know, what's going on right now? What are the valuations? Which franchises are hot? Where do you see opportunity? Where's the potential? And with the team that was already formed before I started, what a team. And I've learned so much from them. And it's really, I think this space is really about problem solving, being creative, having fun. Obviously there's tough moments also, which we've already seen in the first week, but it's exciting and it's creative. And how do you come up with solutions where you have multiple parties involved? And, it's a little cliche, but you want it to be win-win. You want the people acquiring assets to do well and the people selling to be really happy about their decision, because it's usually a life-altering decision. So how can we do that in a way to bring good people together, continue with the level of integrity of Farid's team, have some fun, and just push things forward? Because I think there's a lot of discussion and a lot of opportunity both for buyers and sellers right now. So that's what we want to keep going.
Great. And now we'll focus, we'll shift the focus to Farid here, and maybe you can tell us what do you plan to do as Monty takes over your previous role as president?
Sure. I first want to congratulate, obviously, and if anybody knows Monty, and it seems like the whole Canadian automotive world knows Monty, one thing they'll know about Monty is an extremely modest young man. And that's actually one of the most appealing things for our company, because Monty brings that sense of groundedness to our team. We have a vast team of extremely high professional, high performing individuals who need good, stable, solid management and leadership. And Monty, we're so excited about him taking that role and providing that leadership. And more importantly, Dealer Solutions, one of the areas that I was not able to help my team in great area was, unfortunately, coming from England, I'm not fully bilingual. And Monte speaks French fluently. And so for our very valuable clients in the Quebec market, it's, again, a fantastic opportunity for our company. Now, what will I be doing was the question, sorry. So the question, Will, is COVID actually created the need. It was something that came out of COVID that we found extremely interesting. One of the things about our business is we've built what we believe some enviable relationships with all the key banks in Canada, law firms, accounting firms. And when COVID hit, as you can imagine, there was a lot of communication between all these parties. Everybody was trying to figure out what's going to happen to the retail operations. Everybody was fearful and scared. But one of the first things that actually took place was we recognized that the banks, and I believe the Canadian banks are the greatest in the world because they've always been so rock solid, the banks quickly reevaluated what they were going to expose themselves to, and if there was limited exposure, where was that going to be? And so because of that concern, we recognized that our purchasers would have a challenge if they were looking for a new relationship with the bank to borrow money to complete an acquisition. So it really came from COVID shutting everything down. So I, with one of my other partners, Steve Quinn of BMW of Toronto, we had lengthy conversations, met with lawyers and a lot of different people, and recognized there's a big gap in the automotive business today when it comes from the lending side. And that gap is, how do people that may not quite meet all the criteria of bank stringent approval today, if they don't qualify, how do they access capital? So I've moved over to build a company with Steve Quinn called Drive Investment Partners. It is the first private equity firm that is created specifically for the automotive industry, for people to borrow money on much more flexible terms, short-term loans, long-term loans, equity positions. So we're very excited about the potential and the opportunity of what this equity firm will do. And it will work in unison with our mergers and acquisition firm to provide people that are looking to acquire access to capital that didn't exist before. But the uniqueness of our fund is going to be is that our fund is really a niche fund. And what I mean by that is the investors that are currently participating in our fund are actually current car dealers or dealers that sold their dealerships previously and are looking for a much more safer haven with a higher return. So it's people within the car business that love the car business and are passionate about the car business, but more importantly, want to support the car business and the longevity of it. So we're building the first ever, well, we're proud to say, a dealer fund.
That sounds very exciting. So the company gets a new member and you're off to new challenges, new adventures. But at the same time, it's important that dealers understand that you're also still staying, you still have a foot in the door with the company.
I'm glad you brought that up, Karina, and absolutely. One of the things that I truly believe is for Monty to be successful and for the company to continue to grow, my involvement at Monty's disposal will always be there. I'm also the CEO of our US operation, which is growing rapidly. So even though my primary focus for the foreseeable future will be the fund, I'm not walking away from the mergers and acquisition firm. In fact, what I've actually done by having a friend of mine, Monty, take over the helm is insulate the company and strengthen it. So that's the strategy that we feel is going to propel us into what's going to be some very turbulent years in the automotive industry. And so, yes, I don't plan to leave.
And so maybe as parting words from both of you, you can let us know what the plans are, maybe for the near midterm future, any changes that dealers should anticipate, and just any general comments that you want to leave them with.
Great question. I think, Monty, maybe you want to start first, and then I'll just add my little bit on the end.
Well, it's, sometimes when there's a little bit of uncertainty, there's a lot of opportunity. And I think there is a lot of uncertainty, and what we're seeing right now, which it really blows me away, is there are a lot of opportunities out there. And I think to really properly assess what each individual dealership might be worth, opportunities to explore, opportunities to acquire, there's a lot out there. And I think right now, with a lot of uncertainty and with retail transformation, there is a lot of opportunities. So I think that's really what it is. It's tough sometimes to look at the news and think, oh, where are we heading? But sometimes doors will open when we least expect it. And overall, we're still pretty optimistic. I'm very optimistic about how automotive retail will continue to evolve, and there will be people who will benefit from that tremendously, either by selling their stores or by acquiring stores. And this is what we're here to do. We're here to help to make sure that we can make people happy with the livelihoods that they've created, and created a lot of jobs throughout the country. It's really exceptional what the automotive industry has added to our country. So we want to be part of that and have some fun, and continue to keep our relationship strong and support our manufacturer friends, but be there for dealers when they have these questions, and Dealer Solutions. I think it's quite clear, as the leader in Canada, and also the quality of the valuations is really, that was one of the things I was really, really impressed with. So if there's a dealer who really wants to get a better understanding of what their business is worth, the data pool that's been built, and the understanding of normalization, the true understanding of normalization, I think this is really exciting place, if not the place, to go to in Canada. And that's what really gets me excited.
Great. Thank you, Monty. The only passing words that I would have to bring this to a close, Karina, is one thing great about this country is how united we are as an industry. As much as even I complain sometimes about this and that, this is an extremely united world, bringing dealers, manufacturers, banks, accountant firms, lawyers together. And we feel, working in that partnership with all of our partners, being banks, being the accounting firms, we can bring an additional level of value to our clients when it comes to the area of realizing access to capital. We are certainly not going to be the main line that people would use for all their capital needs. We're really going to be that party that comes to the table when you need just that little bit more peace of mind. The Main Street banks are certainly going to remain active. They're just taking a pause right now. When they come back, they'll be strong, and we'll be working right alongside them and with them. So the future looks great. I think for our business, I think for the retailer's perspective, more pressure is going to be put upon them to make sure that they streamline their businesses, that they are utilizing as much technology today to keep their business in the forefront of their consumer's mind. But one great thing about car dealers, they are chameleons. They're very adaptable, and they're the ultimate entrepreneur. Nobody can touch us in the car business.
Well said. Well, thank you, Monty, and thank you, Farid, for taking the time to do this interview. And I wish you both great success in your roles, and wish you and your families good health as well during this difficult period.
And to you, Karina, thank you so much. And for everybody that's listening, if we can ever be of assistance for anything, we're a phone call away.